Coach Mike McConathy, the Demon basketball coach, his team is on a 5-game winning streak and put away Corpus Christi on Saturday, 82-68. Coach McConathy, tell us about the game Saturday and how the Demons were able to handle the Islanders.
I think that, the guys came out very intense and realized that they were at home and want to make sure they took protected home court. Coming off of 3 road wins on the road and then being able to continue to protect home court was very, very important, because you don't want to give up home court, because actually a road win is equivalent to 2 in our mindset, whereas you lose at home and it may be negative about 3 or 4. So being able to come in and be able to get that game against a team that was a lot better than the record indicated. They had a little swagger to them, and that's a credit to their coaching staff for them to be as confident as they were. But we were able to get a nice little win, and outside of it, in fact, felt like that we, I don't want to use the word dominated, but we controlled them extremely well in the second half. They got a few 3-pointers toward the end of the half, which they'd had a great first half, making, I think, 5 3-pointers in the first half. But other than that, I felt like we did an excellent job.
Your team has now won 5 in a row. What are the cornerstones of that success?
I think it goes back to defense. I think it goes back to taking care of basketball. We still can rebound the ball a lot better than we're rebounding. That's a concern for me. But I just think that we've with the exception of Saturday, and they shot 40% from the 3-point line, we've been holding people under 30% from the 3-point line the previous 4 games, and I think that has made a big, big difference. If you look at the games prior to that, we weren't doing as good a job, and that means that we're contesting shots, high-handed closeouts, and making them shoot over extended arms, and it makes a huge difference.
You got contributions throughout your roster during this past week and the last 2 games. James Holben, for example, stepped up Saturday and broke out of a scoring slump. Talk about how your team has found strength throughout its roster.
Well, if you go back to the game against Central Arkansas, we had our second wave came in and actually played probably about 5 or 6 minutes straight, and they actually were responsible for, I believe it was a 29-6 run at the end of that half, and they kind of propelled that. Gary Stewart had 13 points in that game, and then this past game he had 7, so he averaged 10 points a game in those 2 games. And James Holben coming in and doing the things that we know he's capable of doing. James's mother's had some health issues, and I'm just hopeful that we've moved past that. She's doing okay, and that he'll be able to continue to contribute offensively, because when James can score, he gives you an extra person. Of course, Chucky has done a good job for us, but in the second half the other day against on Saturday's game against Corpus Christi, he knocked down some 3s. Reality, something happened in that game that was a little bit unique, because I moved OJ into the starting lineup the second half and had him guard their best scorer, and it really created problems. The young man had 15 points in the first half, and he hit a 3 early in the half, but didn't have another 3 to the end of the game because he didn't get the ball, was the biggest reason. The second reason is because OJ's length that was creating a problem for him. And with that, we moved Chucky out to the perimeter against the zone, and maybe we found what we've been needing to do against zones, because it allowed Chucky to knock down a couple of shots, and it kind of loosened the zone up, and they went back to playing man-to-man.
All right, things that your team needs to clean up and improve on.
I mean, we still got to push the ball consistently and keep spread and be able to move the ball from one place to the other effectively to where we can get easy shots. I think we've got to be a better defensive rebounding team. Our offensive rebounding in spots has been very, very good, but I didn't feel like we had the best effort on offensive boards. Continue to keep the turnovers down, and we need to, from a perspective, it's not a stat perspective, but we've got to be up and above defenders, because when we do that, it limits what they can do, especially with our length and our size. And if we play even or below, we're going to get beat every time. And I might add also, one of the things that was really interesting about Saturday's game was we had 9 turnovers. 2 turnovers were from stepping out of bounds. So really and truly, you had 7 turnovers that, and I don't know where they came from, but 7 turnovers is pretty good. And when you do that, that makes a huge difference, because I know in the Miami-Duke game yesterday on television, Miami only had 4 turnovers in the first half, and they were leading Duke by double digits. They ended up winning the game, but I mean that turnover factor is one that is very, very big. And if you can create turnovers on the other team and keep yours down, you're going to get more shots at the basket.
All right, let's look ahead to Wednesday night, going down to Lamar. Lamar just beat San Antonio solidly in the Montaigne Center. You had a good competitive game with the Cardinals in which you won here in Natchitoches. Talk about the matchup Wednesday night.
We won 74-62, did a really nice job against them. I think the matchup is fine. I think it's just a matter of not whether we go out and we go defend. If we go defend, they've got a three-headed monster in Lamb, James, and Miles. And if you don't defend them, they're going to create problems. Today in practice, we worked a lot on transition defense, trying to make people understand we got to communicate, know where people are. And if we do that, I think that we'll be just fine. I don't know that they'll do anything different. I don't know that they'll zone us, what they might do, but it'll be a challenge. Devon Lamb is one of the most exciting players in this league because he's left-handed. He just is very aggressive and attacks the boards like he's a 6'9" guy. And he gets in cracks and crevices and creates problems, but I think we'll be prepared for him.
We've just gone through 5 questions, and we have not mentioned Will Mosley. Are you surprised?
Well, I mean, I think that Will is a guy that's done a tremendous job for us, but he has such a great supporting cast in the fact that his players, teammates really believe in him. And that's a credit to Will, but it's also a credit to the team because they've not got caught up in the Mosley-isms because of the numbers that William has put up, because they know that that's a benefit to them that he does play the way he is. He's kind of like the silent assassin. He doesn't talk. He just goes out on the floor and plays. And really and truly, we've got several young people that play that way. Shamir Davis and Lewis Ellis just come and play and compete. And I think that maybe is one of the underlying reasons that we're having some success, and we can hope to continue to have that success, is that it's not about an individual, it's about the whole group.
How critical is Wednesday night's game to the hopes for a conference championship?
Well, you don't want to put everything on something, but with UTA at 9-0, you can't lose any other ground because I just don't see them losing 3 down the stretch. Now, hopefully they lose 1 against us, but I think it's important because on a couple of fronts. One, it maintains momentum. It maintains the attitude that wherever you go, you're going to go and you're going to compete and you're going to win basketball games. And you completely take the road factor out. Because honestly, I don't know that if there's any place that's any tougher to play than Prather Coliseum. We played in a lot tougher venues than any place in this league, and I would say ours is as tough as anyone to play. I'd say UCA may be one of the tougher ones just because the noise reverberates off of those panels they have running down out of the sky. But I just think that you have to approach it that it's a game, and you go do what you've got to do, and good teams and championship teams just go win wherever they play. They don't worry about the site.
We're with junior point guard Shamir Davis. The Demons on a 5-game winning streak, having beaten Corpus Christi on Saturday by 14 points. Shamir, talk about the game on Saturday and what made the difference for the Demons.
Basically, we got out and pushed the tempo. We knew coming in that their record didn't really say who they really were. I know they were like 4-17, but we didn't want to go off that because they came in with a mindset that they could beat us. So we just tried to maintain, and like Coach said before, we had OJ play the second half on their best player, which he never done before, and he stepped up big for us.
All right, defense obviously sways games, and you guys have used it very effectively. As players, I know the coaches are stressing things, but it comes down to commitment from the players. Was there a moment in the season where you guys said, hey, we've got to bow up and play defense better, or did it just evolve?
In my opinion, I think it just evolved. Coach always said from the first game we have to play defense. We're a running gun team. We get up quick shots, maybe 34 seconds left or maybe 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You never know with us, but we have to play defense every possession. Sometimes we get lackadaisical with that. I take part in that also, a lot of other guys. But in conference, we turned it up a lot. We said, if we're going to get a ring, this is how it has to be done. So I think all the guys are bought in with that.
What do you think the team can do better?
Rebound. We have to rebound a lot better. Not depend so much on Mosley, even though he goes out and gets a lot of them. Sometimes we sit and watch because he does get over the rim so much that we just sometimes think he's just going to get them all, and it can't be like that. So we all have to chip in and do our part also.
All right, you're 2 games off the pace in the conference championship race. So how important is it to go to Beaumont and win on Wednesday?
Oh, we have to get it. It's going to be really tough. We know that they want to come out and beat us. We got them here by a double-digit lead, double-digit margin, and we know they want to get us. They want to get a ring just like we want to get one. With UTA at the top, they're playing tremendously. We just have to do our part, and we have no lag time.
All right, talk about that not individual, but that team versus team matchup Wednesday night, Lamar against NSU. What are the keys?
Well, for them, I know they're going to try to get us in foul trouble. I know they're going to try maybe throw some zone at us, like all the teams have done, try to get us off balance a little bit, maybe some 1-3-1, 2-3. We just have to stay consistent. We've seen it the whole conference. When we get 2-3, we have to swing the ball a little bit faster. When they're getting 1-3-1, try to get through the crease, through the gaps. Try not to move so fast. That becomes one of our problems. We try to get the first shot off. Because we normally play so fast that we try to get the first shot when it's not always there. So if we take our time, we'll be all right.
Coach Jennifer Graf, the Lady Demon basketball coach, coming off what is certainly described as a heartbreaking loss to Corpus Christi down on the Gulf Coast on Saturday night. Tell us what made the difference in that game other than the final possessions.
I think turnovers were a big factor for us, and I say that just in the sense we had some crucial turnovers, obviously at a very inopportune time. The last 4 minutes of the game, actually right there between that 3 and 4 minute mark, we had 3 turnovers, and it was kind of a situation of they weren't forced turnovers. We were looking to push the ball a little bit too much up the floor. 2 of them were off of long passes, thinking we could get a breakaway layup when they were kind of chancy anyway. You're at that point, you're ahead. We needed to just hang on to the ball and get the ball down the floor, work some time off the clock and get a good possession off of it, and they were able to turn around and we fouled them twice on 2 of those turnovers. So we sent them to the free throw line. We still had opportunities there at the end, but I thought that was the big difference in the game was those 3 turnovers.
The end of the game, they had the basketball tie game. Take us through those last 15 seconds.
Yeah, it was 15 seconds left on the clock. They have to take it the length of the floor. We pick them up just to try to contain them a little bit. The thing about Corpus is they were so quick, they're so athletic, and we knew we needed to slow them down. We knew we needed to stop their dribble penetration. Their guards do a great job. Their whole offense is dribble penetrate. If you get stopped, dish off to the postman and let her finish. And the refs kind of dictated how the game was going to be played early. They were very consistent with the way they called. They called hand checking right away. You couldn't touch on the defensive end at all. They wanted you to move and completely get in front of them without touching them whatsoever. So I knew that was going to be really difficult for us because of the type of offense Corpus runs. They dribble penetrate. They attack you. And, I thought the girls did a very good job of adjusting to that type of officiating. It's just it put us at a point where either we were going to foul according to the officials, or they were getting too deep inside the paint on us because they dribble penetrate. And that's obviously what we thought they were going to go to at the end. We tried to contain them. When we slowed them up, they get down the floor. They have to take a jumper. It gets tipped out into one of the Corpus's hands. She gets another shot off. Actually, she goes to dribble penetrate, and we migrate over there to stop the ball. When that shot comes off, it comes right off into one of the kids we rotated off of. She was able to get the rebound and stick back in.
All right, then the last 2 seconds, your team got the ball down court and got a shot, actually got a basket.
Well, and in that 2 seconds, it went really quick. I had 1 timeout left and called it right away as soon as the basket went in. The ref turned around, but by the time that had happened, we actually inbounded the ball in a great spot. We were halfway up the floor on the pass, so never mind on the timeout. We got the ball down the floor, and it just, we took 1 dribble, and we didn't have time to take that 1 dribble. It was 2.1 seconds left. We got it up the floor as quick as you can. Corpus was still backpedaling, celebrating, and so we don't get the shot off right in time, but we got it up the floor and had a shot at it, to try to get it in the hole. But it didn't fall for us there right at the end.
So I'll lead into this question. What does it say about your team to be able to execute that way right at the end of the game and come that close to a stunning victory?
Well, we play extremely hard. I haven't doubted that in them throughout conference play. We play hard, and you know, we've said this for a little while. It feels like we're climbing up that mountain, and we're trying to get there, and we just haven't been able to get over the top of it yet. Some people have said, you know, especially after watching us play against UCA, some people have used the term, you know, your girls are just trying not to lose the game there at the end, and people say that all the time, but I don't think that's it at all. If you'd have been in our huddles the last 4 minutes of the UCA game, of the Texas State game, of the Lamar game, of our game against Corpus, these girls want to win so bad that I think the only word I can come up with is antsy. We get real worked up and real excited. Not that we're trying not to turn the ball over, trying not to lose. We're trying so hard to win that I think we just have to calm down and just try to continue to play the way we had been playing that whole time. But they want to be there so bad that they get so excited and so antsy that it kind of hurt us there at the end. But they keep fighting, they keep working hard. I have no doubt that we're going to go into this last part of conference. We have 5 of 7 at home. We got a great opportunity right in front of us. We're going to be able to get over that mountain for sure.
Okay, the first of those 5 comes Wednesday night at home against a Lamar team that one of those nail biters, 2-point loss. Tell us about what we'll expect to see in the game Wednesday night.
Well, I don't doubt Lamar's going to come back in here with the same game plan they had down in Beaumont. They really got us the first half of pressuring us up. They got in the passing lanes hard. They really tried to just be more physical than we were and push us outside of our offense. I thought defensively we did a really good job against them, but the first half was a big difference because we weren't able to score like we wanted to in the first half, and Lamar had a big part in that. We came out the second half and really made a conscious effort to make sure we were getting ourselves open into the offense. We have to be able to do that on Wednesday. We have to make sure that we're in our offense, and that's what I'm saying. In the first half against Lamar, we weren't into it, getting at angles where we needed to. We have to make sure we do that against Lamar on Wednesday, getting down in our offense, getting the ball where it needs to go.
All right. Also, although we'll talk about this again on Thursday, a special weekend coming up for Lady Demon basketball.
Yeah, a huge weekend for us. It's a lot of different things going on. We have 2 former players being inducted into In-Club Hall of Fame on Saturday afternoon after our game against Southeastern. Angel Simpson and Joskeen Garner being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which we're excited about. We hold that after the game for a reason so that our players are able to go and see the history there, be able to meet these 2 young ladies that played in the early 90s. I think that's a part of them understanding Lady Demon basketball and them seeing former players and where they're at today and what they're doing and the things that they accomplished when they were here at Northwestern. You'll also see the Lady Demons in our pink uniforms. It's our annual pink game, if you will, where we try to raise awareness and funds for breast cancer research, you know, to try to get find a cure for that disease. And we'll be doing a lot of different things, silent auctions, selling T-shirts, all that different type of stuff, just like I said, to raise awareness and raise funds.